It was hot enough today to go jump off the cliffs, huh, Steve?
What?
It's hot enough today to go jump off the cliff, huh?
I'm there.
I felt it, dude. How deep is the drop? The landing?
Right now, like 7 feet,
Okay.
but like there's spots where it's 15 feet if you know what you're doing.
How tall are you jumping off? How high are you jumping?
There's a 25, there's a 30, there's a 40. You can work your way up, and there's a 102 foot if you want to get crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are live, and welcome to episode 107 of the Beer and Bullshit Show.
Hey.
This is
I am the host of with the most, Chris Bennett, and we've got everybody here except for Jim Bap. He's probably still on the road, sipping wonderful beers and shit like that. So,
without us.
Anyway, let's see. Scott, my man,
Sir. What is up?
what are you drinking tonight?
My friend, at the moment, I happen to be drinking a Weihenstephaner Festbier. I went with their Oktoberfest. I got a double of that going on right now.
You couldn't stop my fucking squad.
Love this beer. If anybody's an Oktoberfest drinker, they know this by heart. I mean, there's nothing that you can't say good about it, bad about it. I don't know. I mean, it's just your typical Oktoberfest German beer. Other than that, I've got an assortment down here next to me. I have the Sam Adams Fall Pack, and I also have a Sam Adams Oktoberfest down there. I have a choice of more of the Weihenstephaner Oktoberfest, or I have the Sierra Nevada Weihenstephaner Oktoberfest as well.
You're already Oktoberfest up.
Oh, yeah.
My birthday's next Thursday, so that's my starting point of the whole Oktoberfest. But I have had a couple. I've had the Paulaner and I've had the regular Sam Adams. So,
Do it.
Hmm.
Do it.
So, Shane, what are you drinking again?
I got this Omission Pale Ale.
He's got the gluten free beer.
It's
Gluten free.
Gluten free.
It's brewed that way. It's brewed.
You and your gluten free.
See,
I swear.
He's got to watch his
Crafted.
figure.
but it's nice because if you want to eat like a ton of pizza with this and just be a pig, or like some really spicy food or something, this is kind of a nice balance. But they usually serve South Park here at the bar that I'm at brewery, South Park Brewery, because you know, like the TV show with the little, the kids, the children's program, South Park, and there's a Dylan Dam Brewery is nearby, and they usually serve that here too. So I would be drinking those, but their taps are not working right now. So maybe we need to do a GoFundMe for this bar so they can get their taps working.
Yeah.
Hard times.
Yeah.
Hard times. But the omission is good.
Especially in Hartselle, population, 40?
Yeah, maybe 42 and a half or something.
Well, see, I think it would also honestly be able to start a GoFundMe for them to get a better tap system. I mean, geez, if Michael Cohen can get a GoFundMe started for his lawyer fees, then I think that we could do it for them.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, this place is pretty dope. I'll show you. It's a cowboy bar here. You can see the awesome pink door. But it's a real, rugged place. It's the shit, dude. So I'll show you the backyard. So you guys can see, this is where some of the real, see the outhouses there? This is where some of the real partying happens.
I almost half-assed expected a shooting range back there.
Yeah, there could be that kind of activity. But see, these are the chairs that people have broken over each other's heads. I'm just kidding.
Nice. It could be.
Are you really sure you're kidding?
No, I don't.
You
I don't
may not
actually,
be far off.
I don't actually. Yeah, I don't really know the story, but I'll finish up the tour really quick so you can see the rest of the bar. Okay. And there's a nice elk.
Is absolutely fabulous.
I love this place. So.
I really enjoy this kind of
Yeah.
You know, that raccoon and that deer right there could have just been somebody's. Look at it. All this right here is somebody's dinner.
This is elk, actually.
That is somebody's dinner and breakfast. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, it's an elk.
Roadkill.
There's. Okay, yo.
No, elk is actually one of my favorite meats I've ever had. I like elk better than standard venison. At least the way that I've had it prepared. I can cook venison, but the way that other people have prepared elk for me, elk has been far superior. Yeah, it's delicious.
So,
well, the guys that come in and hang out here, they ranch elk and buffalo and cow right here.
Okay.
So we can get like a really nice buffalo steak or a really nice elk steak or a beef steak or whatever we want. Nice. Just right next door at the Mercantile. We have a Mercantile also. So that's pretty dope for such a small town to have an awesome Mercantile, a great bar that has plenty of craft beer selection. And, you know, just like probably 9-10 million babes.
Babes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, Amy, what are you drinking?
You already know what I'm drinking.
Are you drinking the same thing I'm drinking?
Started off with my favorite.
Woo! We're the Tropicana twins.
We are the Tropicana twins.
Yes.
You guys are like beer married.
I gotta send one out to you, Shane, if you haven't had it.
You'll have to send can. Send the can.
Can. Send the can.
Right.
I'd send you one too, Scott, because it's really good.
All those bottles that I sent you, Chris, they all made it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I pack them up pretty nice?
Yeah, you did actually.
Did it take you like 4 hours to unwrap that?
I think it took me like 10 minutes just to unwrap one. It's like, damn, an hour later, it's like, wow, but it made it. It made it. So
good. Yeah.
I was
thinking.
I know. I gotta start sending people beer mail again. So, as soon as I find some more dank me, Shane, you're gonna get some dankness.
I want some dank meme and some really dank meme.
I know you want some dank. Can you have me more of them dank memes? But
you guys got a straw I can use.
Snort it.
So
somebody have $1.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the beer stash that I brought back from Pennsylvania. It's half gone, so.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had some good beers with Jim Babb. He brought some really good beers from the East Coast.
Yeah,
cool.
He said he got you that Society and Solitude and Society or whatever, right?
Yeah, that, and then he had a vanilla IPA.
Okay,
I think it was an Imperial, a vanilla Imperial or something like that.
Okay,
and it was hand written on the label. stuff was like handwritten. He got just like a crowler of it, like maybe a,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah,
in a
because
can. And oh my gosh,
he sent me to the Society in Solitude or whatever
that
from
was good.
Hill's Farmstead.
I had
So,
that for breakfast. That was what I had for breakfast.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, we had like
There's
2
nothing
beers.
wrong with that.
We had like 2 beers, and then we went and had some fun, and then had some more beers, had some more fun, and a lot of good food. Oh my gosh, so many good beers and good food. I don't know. Tore it up.
How are
So
you?
that was
How
that
are
was
you
a
guys
treat.
feeling on the IPAs with the added lactose?
Added lactose.
Yes.
Oh, are you talking about the milkshake IPAs?
Yes.
I haven't really had enough of them.
I've
I've only had maybe 1 or 2.
That's what that
That's
was.
been one of the big things around here lately. Adroit's doing it a lot, and then the Decadent Brewing is doing that a lot. And,
I know my
some of
favorite.
them I've had have been really, really, really good.
I know my favorite breweries in Illinois is doing them. Did one. They call it the Meme Shake, which they took the dank meme recipe and then they added lactose and whatnot to it. So
Sounds cool.
yeah,
Anything to make beer like non-vegan is okay in my book. Like anything to get the vegetarians and the vegans to have to be like, does that have meat in it? Is like honey or like a honey beer? I'm a fan of any of the kind of animal byproducts you can stuff in the beer.
All the ones that I've had from the breweries out here, I mean, I've really, really liked. I like the lactose in my IPA. I didn't think I would, but I do. Because you wouldn't. I mean, you think milk and IPA, and you're like, ugh. No,
exactly. That's what I said too. I was like, milk, lactose, added IPA. Okay, I'll try it.
They add into milk.
Now they've been turning out thick and pretty.
Yeah,
I like it thick and,
not bad.
I like it thick and pretty.
And I just realized that half the 4-packs that I brought back from Pennsylvania, they were New England style IPAs, and I've been being real spoiled. So,
do you like the New England style IPA better than the West Coast?
It depends on my mood. But I've really been digging the northeastern style IPA. Maybe it's because I can't get a lot of them out here, but
maybe
I guess
it's just because it's different,
yeah, because I've had a lot of the West Coast style IPAs. Now with the New England style, it's now I kind of try to mix things up a little bit. So
it's kind of like you're cheating on your beer with a little piece of strange, and it's kind of nice because it's different. Yeah.
I like it. I've been enjoying some of the East Coast IPAs. Just like it's a nice change up because the West Coast, a lot of them are really aggressive on the hops. It's hard to find. It's like Modus Operandi, Ska Brewing. From Durango. It's like it punches you, man. It gets right to business. It's not what you would consider a real smooth drinker.
Yeah. Like I said, I know the IPA I'm drinking right now. I mean, I'm not even really sure how it quite qualifies as an IPA because it's like 40 IBUs. It's so low on the bitterness scale, but it's because of all of the citrus and everything else that they put into it. But I mean, obviously it's an IPA, but I like it because it's fruity and it's happy and it's summer, and it's not a high ABV. It's like the middle of the road. It's like 7.5. So it's not like me going in at my like full-fledged 13 to 15%. So like it's kind of a nice, safe, happy beer, and it tastes like fucking candy. It pleases me, and things that pleases me, well, they please me, and I'm pleased. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
And there it is.
I just dived into a new beer. It's the No Filter. It's a New England style IPA from Thomas Hooker Brewery.
Okay.
This is my favorite one out of all of them. It's juicy. It's juicy. Juicy. So
Juicy.
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 Juicy. So I'm glad I saw this. I'm glad I picked it up. But if I had the money, I would go back east every year and just pick up just a shit ton of beer.
Mm.
If I had like $10,000 or something, I'd go rent a U-Haul and just fill it with nothing but beer.
Did you hit Pork Fest?
No, I didn't. I went out to Pennsylvania for a wedding.
All right. Nice.
So my little brother got married. So we had him on the show. So
Yeah. I knew about that. That's cool. I was wondering if you hit up Pork Fest too, because I was thinking maybe that was around the same time you were out there.
No, that was the month before.
Oh, okay. All right. Crazy, man. I had some good beers in Washington recently, and Oregon. Some good Washington and Oregon beers that, they didn't really knock your socks off, but nice. What's that brewery from Bend?
There's a lot of them from Bend. Bend is like the West Coast beer, craft beer capital.
Gosh. All right. If I see a picture of it, if I run through my roll, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
I'll give you a good recommendation. So I'm going to need a recommendation in a minute here.
So I know you kind of alluded to it earlier, Scott, but why are you kind of disappointed in Boston Beer Company right now?
I don't know whether I know that they got a whole new crew over there pretty much. I mean, they're the biggest issue for me happens to be how do I want to say this? All their experimental stuff they're keeping up there, but they're releasing as normal. They're releasing all their natural normal stuff to us, the beer drinkers.
Okay.
One of my big beefs is like, let's just start right here with this fall pack. They always introduce or they try to at least one new beer inside of their 12 pack.
Right.
This time around they introduced two. Well, they have a coffee pale ale, and then they have a spruce lager. Which, in my opinion, as soon as I seen the bottle, I was like, okay, well, this is supposed to be a drinkable lager with maybe some spruce tip added or some kind of pininess to it. It fell flat. I mean, it sucked so bad. It was just like a traditional drinkable craft version of, say, AB InBev product. And it was like, okay, it's mass produced to a certain extent. It was like you could pick up on the maltiness, you could pick up on, just a hint of, some kind of bitterness, but the aroma gave off a little bit of say, a pine tree. But overall, I was disappointed in it entirely. Now, when it came to their coffee pale ale, it poured out exactly almost the same color. I don't know if my camera's I got my phone plugged in and it might just keep stopping. I'm at 32% and it just keeps freezing up my camera. But if it works here for a second, the same color as this beer right here. There we go.
Okay.
It poured out exactly almost that color, crystal clear, pale yellow, but it had the roasted smell of coffee. It had a strong aroma of coffee. and when you were drinking it, it almost tasted like the acidity of drinking a cup of coffee. So that one I was very impressed with. But Boston Beer lately has been releasing nothing besides IPAs, overly hopped pale ales. Um, they're trying to catch up with the rest of the craft beer industry, and I get that. I really do. But with what they're doing up at Boston Brew Company, I'm like, well, why can you not at least bring back, say, uh, the big bombers that they used to have, and let the rest of America that cannot get there be able to try your stuff? Um, I'm just like, I love still buying their stuff because of the fact that I'm still a loyalist to the company. But at the same time, it's just like I see exactly what everybody says when they're like, okay, well, it's good, but I'm just not going to say that I'm going to go out and buy any more of it, or just not impressed by it. It's still a good drinkable craft beer, but at the same time, I could go to another craft beer company that puts in double or triple the effort to make a high quality product.
Okay. Well, I have not had anything from the mix pack yet. I'm either waiting for I'm either waiting for the 24 pack to show up, and it hasn't yet, or I'm waiting for my favorite brew store to drop the price on the 12 pack, and they're going to over Labor Day weekend. So I'm just gonna probably buy a
No, I
case
was gonna
of
say naturally they do over Labor Day weekend. They
yeah,
usually run some kind of specials or something.
right,
Yeah, it turns out it's better for that.
yeah.
And if I would say if you could find a shop that would actually break a 12 pack down and do singles, I would suggest singles more than I would spending the entire money on a 12 pack anymore.
Well, I'll just buy 24. I'll just suck it down or whatever. But um, with by supporting Sam Adams, I'm actually supporting me because we're
Right,
the
right,
ones who distribute it. So
right.
it's a win-win for me. So I don't care either way. I mean, I
Right.
haven't bought any. I haven't bought literally. I haven't except for the 24 pack. My the 28 pack that my wife bought. I really haven't bought any beer since my trip to Pennsylvania. So um, uh, I'm just and I know Amy's really excited because soon her pumpkin beers will be coming out and
Oh,
stuff
dude,
like
I've already
that.
started on those.
You got
I've already
no.
started on those.
Let me tell you what. They're already out there everywhere. So all my basic white bitch shit is already laid out there. They've already got it. Dunkin' Donuts has it. The beer stores has it. Thing is,
Yep.
the weather isn't really
It's
giving me
not
that
conducive
vibe.
to it, right?
I gotta get the vibe, but I tell you what, when I get that vibe, me and my basic white bitch, we get down. No, all right. I tell you what, I get the highlights in my hair. I get the speak to the manager attitude. I get the whole fucking 9 yards. Basic. It's good shit. Pumpkin
So
spice.
pumpkin spice. Hey, could you see her as a Spice Girl? Hi, I'm Pumpkin Spice.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, which one of you just said you could see me as a fucking Spice Girl so I can fight you?
Hi.
Oh, Scott, you're going over my knee and you're gonna get hands on your back. So be like, bam, bam.
Yay.
uh, so yeah. Besides
Dude,
the
I
beer,
I tell you.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
will
man.
tell you this. So I will admit to this. When I had to make a trip to Walmart the other day. Just because there are certain things that you need, and it's easier to go to Walmart than to go to 5,000 other stores to pick up just random stupid shit
Yep.
that you need. So
yep.
I go to Walmart and I'm going through like the little section where the eggs and milk and coffee creamers and stuff are, and they had pumpkin pie Danish rolls that you could bake in the oven.
Oh yeah.
Pumpkin pie spice on top. They're in the fridge.
Yep. I'll start it off this way. The first day that the pumpkin beers arrived, I automatically had 2 of the Southern Tier Pumpkin. I had one cold. I had one straight out the box. I had to try them both. I like the cold better than I do the warm. I naturally have pumpkin pie spice coffee creamer all year round. I have pumpkin air freshener. I got pumpkin air freshener all around the house. I have pumpkin pie flavored oatmeal in the kitchen. Oh yeah, I love this shit.
All right, it's official. Scott's more of a white girl than I am.
The other night, you know those whole pumpkin pies that you can buy from Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat down with a spoon and I devoured it all.
Bless your heart.
I love this stuff. At least one. I buy the small one.
Pie,
oh yes.
Okay, I was saying if you can make a homemade pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I don't use the canned stuff either.
You don't know heaven until you've had okay, the pumpkin pie is good, but I'm slightly partial to the sweet potato pie.
Yeah, those are good too. I will admit those are pretty good too.
He's still my beating heart, yes.
I find a lot of people don't like the pumpkin pies when you actually do like pumpkin straight out of the garden compared to the store-bought pumpkin pie. I like the actual. It's
because they're stupid. They don't know any better.
Right, because of the fact that that's the way that I divide not only my pumpkin pies up, but I do the same thing with beer. Because if you get a actual pumpkin ale, it'll have a floral aroma to it. It smells more gourdy. It smells more fruity. It's not spicy up in your face. It's all about the actual gourd itself.
It's the nutmeg and everything else that goes into
nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, ginger, cloves. Right.
That's what gives them that it's almost an artificial flavor that takes away from the actual true flavor of the pumpkin. And the pumpkin is a beautiful flavor. It's really similar. I don't know how you feel about butternut squash.
That's not bad.
Oh, I love butternut squash. Butternut squash.
They're really similar in flavor. And people kind of misconstrue, I think, foods with spices and really
they do, but I mean, there's a world of difference between a canned pumpkin pie.
But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna drink Schlafly, because you know what, that shit tastes like some store-bought pumpkin pie, and that shit tastes good. But I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the best beer on the market. I'm not gonna say it tastes like pumpkin, but I'm gonna say it tastes good and it pleases me. So I would drink it.
It tastes good. It pleases me.
I still will say it. I don't think that Buffalo Bills Brewing Company actually does their pumpkin ale anymore. I haven't seen it for like 2 seasons now. But Stephen Point's Brewing Company, they have a whole hog series that has a pumpkin pie ale.
Yes.
And, oh my God!
It is.
So
oh my goodness! I'll second that. I'll second that, Scott. I had it like 2 years. I had it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I wanted to do a head-to-head with the Buffalo Bills and the Stephen Point whole hog.
I did 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness!
Those were the epitome to me.
Yes, those were the epitome of pumpkin beers. Yes,
pumpkin ale and then a pumpkin pie ale. Those were the epitome, hands down.
Hands down.
I'm like, I have had almost
All right, see,
almost
all right,
every freaking pumpkin beer that I can get a hold of.
realize that because I've never had that. My
This is
basic
my
white
shit, I'm
girl
sorry.
heart is
No, you're
breaking,
good.
right?
I had a lighter just like that the other day.
Sam,
Yes, Shane.
Breaking.
what did I miss?
We're talking
Not
about
much.
pumpkin beers.
Bella, no.
Milk and beers still?
Pumpkin
I'm gonna-
beers.
Okay.
Get outside.
Pumpkin
Hey,
beers.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
you know,
I'm gonna
I'm,
go grab another beer, and I'll be
I-
back in just a minute. Okay?
I
Okay.
have
Be
not.
right back.
I have not gotten into the pumpkin beer thing. I am not a
And-
fan. You know, so
It's okay. It's okay, Shane.
Yeah.
So, did you open up a new beer, Shane?
I got a new beer here. It's a honey wheat. It's a Beehive by Bristol Brewing out of Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Right here. It's just like barely any alcohol. It's like 4.1%. And it has a government warning on the side of it. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can't. It's okay.
Of course.
You know,
It's
next
doable.
time I come out to Colorado, I'm gonna have to go beer shopping too.
Yeah, it's kind of like drinking water. But it's a honey wheat. And I usually don't do like the honey wheats and stuff. But
Do you get any of the
Monitor.
actual wheat flavor from it or the honey flavor from it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you do. I mean, my palate is so like jalapeno and habanero and you know
So it's wrecked.
crazy intense flavors like that. So I'm like honey wheat Beehive. So you know, let me see here. Let's get a little head going so you can really
Well, you can see that it's
smell.
the clarity of the beer is hazy. You can see that it
Yes.
has that wheat color to it and the wheat proteins in it.
Yeah, it's
The
fine.
honey, the honey would probably that beer alone, if it didn't have any honey in it, I would bet money on it that it would only come out at like 3.2%. Because when you add honey to the beer, unless it's in the last of the unless it's in the actual brewing process, the honey will actually make the alcohol content rise and during fermentation.
That is true because when I brewed up my I brewed a Hefeweizen and I added honey to it. I wound up with a what was it, a 5.5%er when it only called for just slightly under 4. I mean slightly under 5. So, but it was a hit. It was a hit with all my beer buddies. So,
Hefeweizens are really good. I mean,
yes,
just adding honey to it, I mean, it just adds a little bit of a residual sweetness. Now,
Yep.
if you're brewing something like 120 minutes, which uses a crap ton of honey, you're talking about shooting for the moon there with the alcohol content
Right,
and the amount of honey that
right.
you're asking for.
Also, that what's that one from Bell's that they do every year that everybody clamors for?
Hop Slam.
The Hop Slam has honey in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
I liked it when Sam Adams, when they released their big bottles, they had one. It was called a Braggot ale, and it was a mixture between a honey mead and a low gravity. I believe it was just a low gravity ale.
Okay.
Because it didn't have any like it was still clear, but at the same time, I mean, you tasted like you were just drinking a mixture of beer and mead.
Didn't Sam Adams have one called Honey Queen?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, the Honey Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the style is just called a Braggot.
Okay. Braggot, right. So, yeah, I remember drinking the Honey Queen. That was that was delicious, too, so.
Yeah. To be on the lookout for you, Chris. I don't know if you're a fan of it or not, but it was just released not too long ago that Sam is bringing back in their winter 12-pack, they're bringing back the holiday porter.
What they need to do is they need this year in their holiday pack. They need to do the cherry chocolate one.
I wish they would.
Oh, that was delicious.
I love that I can knock on wood and say that I might have had a hand in that.
Yeah, that cherry chocolate one.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That was good. That was a good one.
I don't want to be like a child that walks into the room, but which cherry chocolate are you
She's
talking
got
about?
me on video. Hey guys,
Sam Adams cherry chocolate box.
My
Yeah, the
battery's
cherry chocolate
dying.
box from Sam Adams.
I gotta jam out because my battery's dying.
All right.
All right,
I see
homie.
how you are. Just take off.
All right, homies. it's the mountain town. I'm in the mountains.
Aw,
Well, next time you see Sean Lee, tell her I said hi.
Okay, I saw her last night. It was debauchery until 3 a.m.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Birthday party, cowboy birthday party. Lots of Queen and Marty Robbins and other weird shit.
All right.
All right. I'll catch you guys
Later.
later.
Later, man.
Bye, Shane. Have you guys had this cherry cordial from Southern Tier?
I don't believe I have.
Have you? It tastes like a fucking chocolate-covered cherry. I mean,
Well, that's good.
it's redonkulous. No, I mean it's really good. We got a couple still here in the fridge, but I know when you guys are talking about like chocolate and cherry, I'm like, oh, nom nom nom.
It was
Like,
num num num, wasn't it, Scott?
Oh my God, it wasn't.
Oh my God! And you know what? I would have bought that in a 12-pack.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Even if they brought it back in bombers, like you said, just like for the holiday, just like for the holiday. You know what I mean, Scott?
Well, I've even suggested to the company, I said, in 750 milliliter bottles, I said, why don't you do just, one time release your Old Fezziwig back in a 750 milliliter.
Okay.
Why don't you put your Doppel or your chocolate box in a 750 milliliter again? Because it's been done before. I said, and do, what did I say? I said, do this up as a 4-pack just for the holidays. Those two, what else did I say? If they wanted to throw a Boston Lager in there, throw one in there, but everybody's had it and everybody's sick of it.
Right.
But just as a holiday thing, in between seasons, that's what I said, in between seasons. I said you could do those two for your winter seasonal. I said, and for your fall seasonal, do your Fat Jack in a bomb. I said, and also do their honey wheat in a bomber. Or not their honey wheat, but their honey porter.
The honey queen. Right.
Because right now, they're for the holiday season, for the winter season, they're getting ready to release their honey porter in a 750 milliliter bottle, but it's only going to be available at the brewery.
Gosh. Of course.
That's what I said. I'm like, go figure.
What are they afraid of? Making money?
Right. I mean, if you're going to release stuff like that, as a one-off,
if you're going to release something that's actually really good, then you need to release it. I mean, you need to release it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't just make it exclusive to Massachusetts.
Even if they just drop it in select markets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I will have a bumper sticker on the back of my car that says, I will travel for beer.
I think you and I are on the same page about that one. I know
I know,
Amy.
I
I know Amy and her man
I've driven
does.
all up and down. Yeah, I go all over the place for my beer.
Yeah, I know Amy's. You say that you guys go into Pennsylvania sometimes and grab some
Yep,
stuff,
when I go up
Amy.
there, I go specifically there for beer. Yep.
Yep.
I would say the only thing that's
End up
good
getting
inside
some
PA
really good
is some
stuff.
of their beer.
So
I don't know. I kind of like Pennsylvania for what it's worth.
you know what?
Um,
The one thing I picked up
the
from Pennsylvania, I was really disappointed in, was their the Trogs, their chocolate. I mean their coffee stout or whatever. I wasn't too crazy about that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I like some of the choke stuff.
Nugget
I mean,
Nectar's pretty
we
good.
get a lot of trogs down here, so I mean, it's kind of like a normal beer, kind of like the way like Tropicana is like what we would consider gas station beer. It's
Right.
everywhere, you know. Um,
Hey
but
Scott.
I mean, it
Hey
doesn't make
Scott.
it bad. It just
What up?
means you're used to it.
Doesn't the Nugget Nectar have honey in it too?
Yep.
I've only had it once.
It's all right. I mean, it tries to be something similar to Hop Slam or vice versa,
Right.
but Hop Slam comes out as the winner in that. Um, I know that there's some overseas gypsy brewing companies that do a lot of that kind of stuff too, but there's just so much beer. I mean, it's coming to the
I
point
know.
where it's coming to the point where it's we've had so much that everything's just becoming a stale standpoint, mediocre, blur in the road to
Right.
where we are just. It's like, okay, if there's something special and we know that it's from a good company, okay, we're gonna pick it up. But at the same time, when you're asking like $25 for like a 6-pack or a 4-pack or something stupid like that. I mean, price point is going to be one of the main keys, to people buying your product. And now it's like, even in my market, Zombie Dust went up to like $17.
Oh, I know, because at the brewery you can get it for $12 a 6-pack now.
Yeah.
It
I
used to be
be
just
able
10.
to get it for like, $9.99.
Yep. And why do you think I haven't made my annual Three Floyds trip? Because they raised their prices.
Right. And that's what I said. I said, to be honest with you, I said it might not be as hoppy, but Sam keeps releasing their pale ale in some of their mix packs. I said their pale ale is better and it's cheaper than Three Floyd Zombie Dust, which I happen to be wearing the shirt of. But at the same time, I'm not going to continuously buy their products if you're going to jack up the prices in a 6-pack to equal your, limited, bomber series. I mean, there's no point.
Right. I mean,
I'll stick with clown shoes and keep buying up the $15 barrel aged clown shoe stuff at like, $15-$16.
Right.
I'm still kind of mixed on them. I've had a bunch of their stuff that I really like, and I've had a bunch of their stuff that I pay way too much for, and I'm like, really? This is all I get? It's kind of like, yeah, it's like that super hot, awesome guy, that you've been coveting for like a year, and then all of a sudden you realize he's got a 3-inch penis. It's the most disappointing thing ever. I don't know.
What if you could rip something off of your memory? I mean, what? Oh, there it is.
God,
gotta think.
I'd have to look on my Untapped, but I mean, a lot of my clown shoes have been like down like at 3 stars. Either they're like 4 stars.
What I normally
like,
tell people, I remember you picking up their Millionaire.
That was the one that you were telling me about, right?
Yep.
A few shows ago. Yeah.
Yep.
We did really like that one.
That we still got bottles of it around, and I love that beer. I mean, it's overpriced for what it is, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's what my boyfriend said. He's like, I really liked it, and he's like, this really isn't that great for that much money. I'm like, you know. But I mean,
Right.
at the same time, I mean, we buy stuff from Adroit out here, which I've got to get some of this out to you guys. The bad thing with Adroit is they're such a small brewery. We've had a couple of bottles explode on us. We had one actually explode while we were sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was all over the ceiling. I mean, there was glass everywhere. It was nuts. But thing is, I mean,
that sounds like
when
an overcarbonation problem.
I've only had one beer of theirs, which was a collaboration that I really didn't like. Everything else of theirs, and that was actually what I was planning on drinking tonight. Was I got one from Detroit that's a Northeast IPA with lactose, mind you. I got started on the Tropicana, and once I get started on the Tropicana, that's pretty much all I want to drink. But I'm a sucker to these guys. I mean, and they're right beside the damn house. You know, like I could ride a bike there. You know, like they're so close. But anyways, most of the beers are like really, really, really high ABV. They're really, really good. They try to do a lot of the experimental flavors like Clown Shoes does, but they do it 50 cajillion times better. The only thing is they have no distribution.
Yeah, you have to go to the brewery and get it.
Yes. Or you have to. The thing is, we've got a couple of beer stores up here where the guys are friends with the guys at Adroit, and they'll bring special kegs up here. They just did a series that was really, really low ABV, which is kind of odd for them because they don't really do that very much. But they did a series of sours and goses called Drank.
That's one of the biggest things that's like popping up. I mean, you're going to see a lot of breweries getting into like the sour category.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, they did Drank. I mean, and when I say Drank, they did Drank. They did purple Drank, they did green Drank, and they did red Drank. So basically, they did like a soda version of beers, and they were all neon colored.
Nice.
And they were absolutely fucking amazing. I think they were all right at 4%.
That almost sounds like the company Framboise or Framboise from France.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like it almost like that they come in wine bottles. They're all corked, and they're kind of a mixture between a sour and a
lambic.
Yeah. It's a mixture between a lambic and a sour.
Okay.
Yeah, see, with the Adroit, they only did them on draft. So they didn't even put them into bottles. So, I mean, it was like one of those things you had to find a place where they had a good enough relationship with where you could actually go and get it on draft. And, but I mean, they were killer. But I mean, the Adroit it's usually what I'm drinking when we're on here. You guys are like joking about me, like always drinking 13% beers or 15% beers. It's because I'm drinking from Adroit. And, you know, for them to go and make these like really awesome beers with like this tiny little ABV and for them to be that good, I mean, they're all over the place. They're amazing. But they're down in Virginia. They're in Northern Virginia. And like I said, the distribution is terrible. And it's not because their beer isn't good. It's because they don't want to just sell it.
That sounds exactly like the freaking gingerbread stout, freaking horrible at distribution, and I want it.
Oh, from Hardy Woods?
Yes.
You know what? I
I'm
saw
gonna
some.
have.
I saw some of the.
Oh, I tell
I
you
saw
what.
some of their
I
stuff in
will.
Pennsylvania. I actually did see some of their stuff in Pennsylvania.
But you will not. Yes, I'm gonna tell you what you saw in Pennsylvania, Chris, and I know I'm gonna be right. You're gonna see their blackberry stout or their raspberry stout.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah.
But yeah, but that's all you're gonna see because that's all they're gonna distribute up there. But
That that
if you
and it didn't. It did. Neither one impressed me, so I just didn't pick it up.
no,
So
if you wanna get the gingerbread stout, it comes from Richmond. It's born and bred in Richmond. It's got to come out of Richmond, and
Yeah,
I
it's
tell you what,
very limited
I've still got
distribution.
I've still got bottles in my basement. But I tell you what, I go down there every year and I pick it up, and now I swear by some Hardywood gingerbread stout, man. God, I love that shit.
Did you see that they ended up last year? They made a whiskey out of it.
Yes, I did. I didn't have any, but I've
No,
had
they were
so
doing
many.
tasters at the brewery only.
No, I saw they were doing it, but I was already living up here.
Yeah.
And
The whiskey
well, no,
company
I
was
was actually
actually
looking for
selling
one
it,
down
but
there.
they were selling it at like $95 a bottle.
woo!
That's a big
Yeah.
ouch.
Yeah, the price was just outrageous. But the brewer and the distiller both tasted it on video and said that you can still get some of the spice notes and the stout notes from the whiskey.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be down to go and try it out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Richmond's only 4 hours from me. I mean, and it's my home, so y'all already know how I feel about Hardywood. I love Hardywood, but that's why I can tell you, Chris. That's why I knew that the beers that you were looking at up here or up in Pennsylvania were like the shittiest beers that Hardywood ever put out.
Okay, so she knows the shittiest beers
Hardywood's best beers
from one of
come
the
out
shittiest,
from.
and yet you live in one of the shittiest towns in America.
The thing is, Hardywood does make silly, amazing beers, and so does Baltimore. Baltimore, oh my god, they've got some great breweries up here. But yeah, I certainly do live in.
Yet you could
one of the
only
shittiest
visit.
towns.
You should only visit Baltimore during the, from like 10 o'clock till like 3 o'clock, and then you should be gone.
I live here 24/7. I live in this shithole.
Yeah, I was seeing
And
all the stuff that the mayor was talking about and what the mayor was doing and wanting to do with the sanctuary
God,
cities and all that shit. I was also reading
so
articles.
retarded.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I was reading articles that they were like, only visit Baltimore City during the daylight hours and then be gone.
I live in Baltimore City 24/7. Okay, and I mean, like I said, I don't live in the county. I'm not in like this like little super safe area.
Yeah.
And we just had 2 people get shot right down the street last week. We had the helicopters overhead. We had a police chase down the street right before I logged in with you guys. I can hear. You guys probably can't hear them because it's kind of faint. But I mean, all night, every night. I mean, that's all it is sirens and everything else. I mean, we're the murder capital of the United States.
The murder.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, murder capital.
Chicago's trying to own up.
Well, but I mean, as
we gonna kill more people than you. No, we gonna kill more people.
We got Chicago beat, we got Detroit beat, we got New Orleans beat. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs. It's pathetic.
It is.
It's horrible. Because I mean, the thing is, most of the people that I deal with around here are actually really nice, normal people. The thing is, once I leave my neighborhood, as soon as I'm pulling out, I remember last year when I had a bigger passenger van. I've got a smaller SUV now. But I'm pulling up on the boulevard to take my kids to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had prostitutes approaching me at 7 something in the morning.